Hi, everyone. Welcome. Tonight, we're going to be talking about aromatherapy for relaxation. There are so many essential oils and also blends that can be utilized for the purposes of chilling out, of relaxing and calming down. And so, the intention behind tonight's event is to educate, to inspire, but also to give you ideas on what essential oils and or sprays you can use to soothe emotions of worry and increase relaxation. So you can see on this very first introductory cover slide here, I have my Euphoria relaxation spray. That's been around for a long time. I would say just maybe a couple of years shy of how long Smudge and Spray is out. It's an older formula that I received because I was going through menopause at the time, and so were all the people around me. So we were cranky pants. We were. And we needed to chill our petunias. So Euphoria is a good blend for that. So before we get too far, too deep into this talk about aromatherapy, I find it very important, really important, to understand that aromatherapy is meant to be utilized in a safe manner. And so you can look up yourself with these professional organizations, NAHA, the National Association of Holistic Aromatherapy, or the International Federation of Professional Aromatherapists. If you want, you can make a note, jot it down. You can look it up later, and the websites are really easy to find. Okay. So, one of the main things I want to bring up is the best and most effective way I find for working through and working with essential oils is through inhalation. That's why I've created so many of the different bottles and formulas in in a blend, so you can diffuse it and spray it around you and around your space. I often will spray my various blends on my bed sheets and pillows for my husband and I. It's a wonderful way to fall asleep, and I even like to freshen the room in the morning with it. So that's inhalation. You're not actually applying it physically to your body. So you want to avoid prolonged or excessive exposure to the same essential oil day after day, because it will have over time potentially a negative effect. What I always recommend, always, this is not just to sell my book, because you can look it up in whatever aromatherapy book you have on your shelf. But if you don't have a good one on your shelf, I highly recommend mine. Look it up. And I wrote the book and I still look it up. I look it up. So, The Essential Guide to Aromatherapy and Vibrational Healing is a great resource. And what I've done is I've really, through my years of learning how to be an evolutionary aromatherapist, I had already been working with aromatherapy for quite a while, and I would look it up in like 4 or 5 different books, whatever it was, because I couldn't find it all in one place. So that's what made me create my own copy, my own set of information, and with lots of appendices and even the matching animal vibrations and archangels, muscular aches, so like conditions, even the essential oils for zodiac signs, which we have a whole lineup. Anyway, I went into a little commercial advertisement there. Can't help myself sometimes. But the other thing I want to point out, I put orange here. Orange is a favorite scent for many. It's very uplifting. It can calm you down, at the same time bring more joy and upliftment. So if you're feeling a little blue, orange essential oil is a really good is really good to inhale. But if you for some reason decided that you wanted to put it on your body in some way or form, be sure always use what's called a carrier. And you can find out more information on this when I do a longer event. But the other thing is, all citrus oils are phototoxic, which means if you apply it when you go out into the sun, you're going to get a sunburn, and it could really burn your skin. So you don't want to necessarily apply it. Even when I go to a spa, back in the day when I used to go to spas, I I would always refuse the citrus because I often was going by the pool or down to the beach. right after my massage or my facial or whatever service I was having. I would always choose like lavender, and I have lavender here because that is one of the safest essential oils you can work with. It also has so many therapeutic qualities. It definitely is relaxing and calming. It's antifungal, antibacterial, antiseptic. The list goes on and on. So these are my line. These are essential oils of the Crystal Garden brand Aromatherapy. But let's go on and let's talk a little bit more here about a few more blends. So, well, blends. One is a blend and the other three are single notes. So a blend is a combination of multiple essential oils to achieve an intention or a purpose. And then single note means it's just one essential oil or just that, just one essential oil. So calm is a blend. And then you see here sweet marjoram, clary sage, and spikenard. Now there's a lot more essential oils that will help with calming. But let's start with the blend calm. So once upon a time, a long time ago, not that long ago, um, we were going to be getting a Hurricane Dorian. I have it on the product page. I can't remember what year that was. 2019, I think. 2019. Hurricane Dorian was a Category 5 hurricane. And I'm located, me and my store, The Crystal Garden, we're all located right here in Palm Beach County, right on the coast. I even joke because you walk a block, a short, like a half block, and there's an intercoastal waterway. Sometimes I joke someday the Crystal Garden's going to be waterfront property because we get a storm, you never know, the storm surge. But that one was only 89 miles off our coast, and that's the one, unfortunately, that decimated the Bahamas. But it was so close and was so nerve-wracking. And so with Calm, this blend, what I did was I had no intention of creating a blend for this, but what happened was I was on my Margaret Ann book club page on Facebook, and I was making recommendations to that group that follow me on there. Hey, here's some ideas for some essential oils you can inhale to help you calm down because we're all so scared. This can really help you. And I made a list of all these essential oils that would be good. Well, one of my favorite customers, and she's become a friend, Allison, replied, "Oh, Margaret, is that a new blend that you're creating?" And I was like, "Well, it wasn't what I intended, but I'll be back with you in a minute." Because originally I thought, "Oh, this is not going to smell good." But what I did was I closed my computer. I went to my, got out my aromatherapies bottles, my big bottles of essential oils, and started blending and added a few more ingredients that would make it more pleasant smelling because otherwise it would have been a little bit medicinal maybe. I wanted it to smell good as well as be effective to calm. And that's what happened. I created calm from that experience. So what is that expression? Necessity is the mother of invention. And that was one of those moments that's why that was invented, that calm. This also comes in a 2-ounce spray bottle too. But if you wanted to use a single note, maybe you have lavender, like you already saw that on the prior screen. And now sweet marjoram is really great for hysteria, for high blood pressure. It lowers the blood pressure. So it calms you down, it lowers the blood pressure, it opens your respiratory passages so you can inhale fully and completely. I've used it many times when I've had cold or something like that to help reduce the symptoms of the experience, and it really is effective. It's also great to fall asleep, to help you if you're having a hard time sleeping at night. It's very effective. So clary sage is euphoric. It's one of the ingredients in Euphoria. It's one of the many ingredients in Euphoria that you saw on the very first screen. And clary sage creates a euphoric effect. In fact, each essential oil has well, not every single essential oil, but most essential oils have a caution to go with it. Let's see, I'm going to go to my book right here and see how I worded it. So, in fact, the key phrase for you for Clary Sage is euphoria. So I'm right here in my book. And so I give you in my book so many things, but also the spiritual uses, the mental uses, the emotional uses, and the physical uses. And then the for your safety is what I called it. Some books have the word contraindications. So whatever book you have, look it up and find out if there are any contraindications or any safety requirements. So this has a sedative effect. Avoid prior to driving and when it's necessary to stay alert. Avoid when drinking alcohol as nausea may result. Avoid in cases of low blood pressure, because it really lowers your blood pressure. Use sparingly and occasionally, as overuse may cause headaches. Do not use if pregnant or nursing. So, this is just one example of what you could look up and find out when you do your work with, work with your essential oils. Okay? And then spikenard. So, spikenard has one of the chemical components that you find in valerian root. And this is an essential oil that will relax your muscles very, very intensely. So this does not smell very good. Smells like dirty socks. That's what a lot of people say, right? But if you smelt valerian root, then you probably already know it has a similar scent as valerian root. But what the idea is with spikenard, you could just inhale it just for a moment, or a few seconds. Don't put it on you because it will not leave you for the rest of the day. You will have that scent up your nose and around you all day long. In fact, the other day, Anna, who fills our bottles, she went to, didn't she? Did you see Anna when oh my gosh, I'm talking to Kate, who's in the room with me. Anna fills the spikenard because people are overseas buy it. Is it Romania?
Yeah.
Romanians buy our spikenard like 5 or 6 bottles at a time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were we needed to refill our bottles and get ready for another order. And she said, Margaret, I'm having a hard time staying awake. I just filled the spikenard. So that's really effective for calming and relaxing and making you drowsy. And there are other stories I could tell, but it will take too long. There are some good stories I have for this. But when you take one of my aromatherapy courses, you'll get more stories. This is because we only have a little bit of time tonight. We're doing a little half hour. Let's go to this next page. So I wanted to give you a blend, a chill out formula, peace and serenity. And so these essential oils individually can help with that, but also you can use clary sage to release stress, and it brings about a sense of serenity. I don't think I have clary sage in our serenity mist, but we do have a mist called serenity mist. So clary sage, so you see that number 6 on the far right of the screen? That's you would put these are the proportions. So I would put this is to make a small batch, 6 drops of clary sage. Frankincense you can use to increase your spiritual connection and feel protected, because frankincense is good for protection, which will give you a sense of peace. 4 drops of frankincense, lavender to bring calmness. Now there's 60 drops of that, so that's going to be the base. So for me, I would probably put the lavender in first. It's just the way my recipes, the logic I use. I put in the largest quantity first, and then I start to add the others. So this is drops. You would use a pipette, and when we're out of the global pandemic, I will be doing my aromatherapy workshops again. They're great. I maximum of 10 people, preferably only 5 at a time. And the first day we learn, the second day it's blending. And this formula actually is from one of our classes. Uh, and I think it was called the chill out formula. I just changed it, peace and serenity. And this is in my book. It's in the back. So you get recipes in the back of all kinds of formulas in the back of the Essential Guide to Aromatherapy and Vibrational Healing. So hyacinth is a great essential oil to calm, but also to help you with feelings of sadness and sorrow and grief. I used it, hyacinth, as a single note by itself when my mom passed. I was so sad for like a full year, and I still miss her, but that intense grieving process, I would kept being attracted to hyacinth plants. And I finally looked up, why am I so attracted to hyacinth? What is the meaning of the hyacinth plant? That's when I found out that hyacinth is really great to help you with the sadness that you feel when you're grieving. So often, when we're not feeling peaceful and serene, we're also probably sad about something because we're not just upset in one way or another, but we could also be very sad. So I like this floral scent because it brings a cheerful vibration to the scent. It brings the energy higher. And then here's the sweet marjoram to release fears and phobias and increase protection. So this is a great one if you wanted to use it by itself, some sweet marjoram. I would, one of my favorite ways, if you're going through a period of time where maybe you're crying a lot and you just can't get those emotions under control, put a little sweet marjoram, just like take the bottle, go like this, turn it over, and put a dab on the back, on the occiput, that little crevice in the back of your skull. Um, put one, just tap it. You're not taking more than one drop. You're just getting it on your finger and put a drop on your temples. And then I would put it also on the base of my spine back when I used to cry a lot. Yes, I used to cry a lot. Probably menopause. But the thing with sweet marjoram and the clary sage, so the first and the last on this recipe, they both lower your blood pressure. So if you already have low blood pressure, just don't put it in the formula. I wouldn't, because you can make yourself pass out. You don't want to do that, all right? Because these have real chemical components, okay? And that's why it's important to understand and to do the research and look things up. So here you see the formulas: clary sage 6 drops, frankincense 4 drops, lavender 60 drops, hyacinth 16 drops, sweet marjoram 16 drops. Now you can adjust this based on your own, olfactory sense to feel and sense, which is going to be your best flavor. You may not want as much of the hyacinth or not as much of the clary sage, so you can look at that. So I wanted to do just a little calming meditation. So I'm going to move my cute little face. Can I get my cute little face to go down? There it is. And we're just going to have a moment, close our eyes. You can look at the screen if you want to. So it's 6:19, so we're just keeping track of time here. So get yourself in a position where you can, if you're sitting in a chair, go ahead and make sure your feet are uncrossed. Go ahead and relax your physical body. So start to be aware of where you may be having some discomfort. If you need to stretch a little bit, let me know. Um, well, not let me, you can't let me know. I don't know what I was thinking. I let yourself know and tell your body to relax. So you might want to roll your shoulders back and down. I know from working on the computer all day, mine are tight. And start taking deeper breaths, inhaling and exhaling, observing that when you breathe in, how your body expands on the inhalation. And then when you exhale, observe how your body contracts on the exhalation. And with your tongue gently touching the roof of your mouth, you create a closed circuit. Put all of your attention behind the center of your forehead. And imagine you're walking down a very pretty pink road. Maybe it's a pink pathway. It could be magenta pink, it could be light pink, but just something that's comforting and soothing, creating peace and harmony. And if you have your power animal available to you, if you know who your power animals are, you can take them along for this little walk inside your own consciousness. You're walking down a pathway behind the center of your forehead. And as you're walking down this pathway, start to contemplate what stress, worries, or fears you're ready to release. And as you're walking, imagine that as you think of what the stress or worries are, that they're just gently falling off of you, falling away from you. With ease and grace, you're walking down this pathway. And as you walk, you also notice or imagine, make believe that you can see all kinds of flowers, beautiful green leaves, green bushes. There are green trees. The trees, some of them have blossoms on them. Oh, look, there's an orange blossom on that tree. Oh, there's a lot of orange blossoms. Take a moment and imagine that you're inhaling the sweet fragrance of orange. Continuing to walk and observing, noticing, or imagining lavender growing on the side. Is it on your right side or is it on your left side? Maybe it's both sides of the pathway. Very, very beautiful, very sweet lavender buds. The blossoms are opening and the fragrance is filling the air. Oh, and there are rose bushes, and the roses are open, and the beautiful fragrance is coming up your way, bringing comfort and love, opening your heart. And oh, there's a lang lang tree. Lang lang blossoms are actually in bloom right now. That's literally true because I have one in my yard. And imagine the beautiful fragrance. It's very perfume-like. In fact, lang lang means perfume tree. Imagine that perfume bringing calm and peace to all of your senses. By the time you're done with this experience, the short little guided imagery, if you have any essential oils in your home, you may want to consider pulling one of them out, taking a nice inhalation before you fall asleep tonight to bring calm and peace. So there's many, many, many more trees and flowers and bushes that are ready for you to learn about and connect with. Remember that you have everything available to you. Gift yourself with essential oils and aromatherapy for health and well-being, for emotional balance and inner peace. So now I'd like for you to imagine that you've decided it's time, and I've decided it's time for you to turn around and start walking back up the pathway, walking up the pathway, walking up the pathway. Now you're walking up the pathway the um, toward the front of your forehead. And as you get to the front of your forehead, you think about, stop and pause before you open your eyes. Maybe pause and think about what blossoms, flowers, or essential oil ideas popped into your head during that very short meditation, guided imagery. And get ready to jot yourself a note of which essential oils you think you might want to either get, obtain, purchase, or if you have them in your home, get ready to go get some out of your cabinet or wherever you keep your essential oil stash. Good. Now, now you can let yourself come all the way back, imagining that The soles of your feet have white light roots growing from them, grounding you, grounding this experience. Anything that you realized or recognized, go ahead and bring it to the forefront. And if you need to, jot it down. You have a piece of paper, probably not that far away from you. Bring it and make a little note, bring that idea back to you so that you can, in fact, use these essential oils for health and well being. So, I want to, first of all, thank you for coming today and joining for this little bit. I noticed a few questions here in the chat from the Zoom experience because I can see those. Um, are essential oils in a diffuser safe to use around animals? So I would check with your holistic vet personally, because I don't know what animals, because it's all different kinds of animals in the world. I have cats, and I've had cats in my life, in my home, since 1990. Yeah, 1990. And I am an aromatherapist, and I that's where I blend my essential oils. I do not diffuse them though at my house. There's enough of that smell in the house because I'm blending. I have big bottles and I have a whole cabinet full of them, a big cabinet filled with them. So I don't think it's a problem, but I would check with a vet for animals. Somebody here. Oh, Christine. Hi, Christine. So right now, Christine, as you know, we're closed, but yes, I agree with you. It's a beautiful thing. Christine said that once things open up, she's going to take a trip to Florida and come and take some of my classes, have fun in the sun, spiritual vacations. I've had quite a few people who've flown down from Staten Island, Queens, New Jersey, the New York area. Maybe it's my accent. So, I invite you guys to go to thecrystalgarden.com and check out all the essential oils that we carry. We have an amazing collection of, I created over 65 blends, and recently just added to 5 new archangel blends and six. Is it six? Oh, yeah, because now we have 12 archangels. See, Kit keeps me on target here. So for those of you that aren't familiar, I would love to invite you, even if you come for a little while. You don't have to come right now. Maybe you'll have dinner and then join us a little bit later, because we are starting our Shop the Crystal Garden from Home Facebook live show directly, like as soon as we rearrange some of our camera stuff. We're starting right now, and then it often ends up going to like 9 o'clock. So you can jump in and out. I teach, we share, we all laugh a lot. Kate picks on me, so people laugh at me that way. Is that true? Yes, it is. So we do it every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful rest of your night. And I hope this helped just a little bit, or maybe a lot. Thanks for watching.